Well. It's another day at JKR Builds today. What we are looking at today is the Spitfire. I did end up getting the parts to go ahead and try start the motor, but I started taking some parts out from underneath the dash, and I took out like the heater, condenser, and I wasn't even thinking. I started cutting hoses for the antifreeze, and what I'm gonna do is take off the air smog pump, and I'm getting rid of all the heater hoses, and once I do the smog kit, there's some plugs I gotta get for the head. I haven't quite figured it out yet, so I'm just kind of jumping all over the place. And then I was just gonna do a regular 6-point roll cage with your halo hoop, 2 downrights, then 2 going down to the floor cockpit. And I have some roll cage here left over. This is what I was looking at here. More and more I think about it, I don't know. I want it to look cool, but I want it to function also. I was just gonna run a regular hoop here, but I'm thinking about lowering this down and maybe do 2 separate hoops. It looks kind of funky. Then I'll have like I said, I'll have a bar up to this point going down into the trunk area. Well, I don't know, it's weird. I was laying in bed last night thinking about it. I kind of want the car to look cool, something different. And what I originally wanted to do was a cafe style, where you have a hump behind the head that goes down on the angle to the trunk. And then this side, you put a piece of sheet metal and cover up the passenger side compartment. But if I ever go to a SCCA autocross track and I want to have a passenger, I think I want to leave this open. So I think I'm going to go with like a leather snap-on cover that goes on this side. I'm going to put a piece of metal in the middle here so it can snap into this area. But back here, well, I think I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but what I'm thinking is about lowering this bar down here, down to this area right here. Then I'll have a single loop for the passenger and a single loop for the driver's side. Then I'm thinking about making 2 aluminum or 2 steel humps from behind the passenger side head and the driver's side head going down. I don't know why I came up with this, no idea, but sounds cool in my head, but when we go to actually do it, I'm not sure if it's gonna look stupid or look cool, or I want it to look different. I guess I'm going more for like the 1950s, 60s Le Mans look race cars. And I ain't gonna lie, I got some race cars and I drive them on the track and I actually drive them on the road, take them to car shows, and I'm all over the place. I get more uses out of them that way, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to get a basic shape out of this cardboard here, just to see what I can come up with. I really don't know how you cut this, but I'm just gonna have to go trial by ear type thing. Let me see, get the razor blade here. Oh, I just hunting down my razor blade to cut this cardboard. I guess I'm way ahead of myself. I'm not even thinking. I don't even know how I'm going to make the trunk functional to open and close. That's going to be something different that I'll have to figure out. not there. Let's see here. Try to do another cut. Tried to Google some images of what I'm kind of thinking in my head, and there's really not a whole lot on Google Images, so it's going to be kind of tough to I'm going into this kind of all blinded here, but that's what's supposed to make it fun, I guess. Working on cars. Alrighty, let's see what we have. See, I don't want that straight. I want this to go down to the trunk. So, I'm just going to have to keep shading that down. I want to go on a pretty steep angle, I'm guessing, right? So I'll try to do another couple cuts there. See if I can kind of figure out the angle I'm looking for. Okay, I think I just kind of found my angle that one. I kind of cut that on a 37-degree angle, somewhere, not even 37, it'd be more like 23, 17 maybe. It's kind of what I'm hoping for. So what I need to do now is probably fold that in half. And I'm thinking if I cut my other side, oh, I feel the trunk flexing. That's like beer can material right there, that rear trunk. It's pretty thin. Go like this. I'm looking for. I'll make that a little rounded. Now what I'm going to want to do is I want to get my straight cut up here. I can probably just freehand that pretty much. See what happens here. And that trunk is right there. It's starting to kind of come in shape. I think what I'm going to want to do now is I'll grab some tape. Try to get that somewhat where I think I kind of want it. So maybe it'll somewhat stay. I want a little bit of curve in there. It's hard. We have clamps. Don't really have nothing welded. that maybe. There we go. That looks a little better. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm liking that or not. It looks crazy huge. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's too big. I wonder if I lowered that down. See, straight edge. What I'll do is I'll score that with a razor blade and we'll put a fold on the bottom. We'll go about 3 inches. Down here. That's funny. There we go. And then we'll go about 3 inches on this side. See if that looks any better or not. And by doing that, that's going to take us down a little bit. I'm just going to get my roundness here that I want. Like that. Here I'm trying to pull it tight, and then I threw it on there and it just kind of fell. And that has a lot nicer flow to it. I really like that actually. And I was thinking make the same exact hump on that side. So kind of go like that. And I was going to cut these bars down to about my shoulder height. But I was going to have a hoop on top of that roll bar once it's cut down here, so I have a hoop and a hoop. I think that's gonna look pretty cool. I think I like it. I think that's what I'm gonna shoot for, is right there. I guess I was just trying to make it too narrow and too tall. And it really doesn't have to be. It looks better, lower, wider, and flatter. It just has a better flow to it, so I'm really digging that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use this cardboard as a template to make the other side. And we'll get a good look with both of them on there. And actually it's clicking in my head right now. What I'm thinking is there was a cartoon or something back in the 70s. Speed Racer is coming to my mind. I don't even remember what the cartoon was about, but I remember he had a 2-seater sports car. Had a number on it, I do believe. And he had 2 humps for the passenger and driver's side, if I remember right. So yeah, I might have to look up that cartoon. Maybe that'll help me to get a vision for what I'm trying to do here. Check you out. All right, I went ahead and took this passer side, laid it on another piece of cardboard, used it as a template. We're gonna try to get this up there. Kind of get an idea what it looks like. Not sure really where I'm going with this. I'm not really sure why I dreamed of this last night in bed, but weird stuff happens, I don't know. I'm sure there's a name for these. Gosh, I swear I used to know the name years ago. Some kind of weird name for these humps. Maybe some of you guys out there, I'm sure you guys know there's a certain name or a slang for these. I'd kind of like to know what they're actually called, because I do not remember at all. Something like that. I don't know, I kind of like it. I just don't know how I'm gonna make the trunk usable. I think I'm gonna go for that. All I have to do is between this roll bar and by this gas feeler cap, there's a gap there that's open. I'm gonna have to take sheet metal and then wrap that and close that first. But now I got the general idea of the picture in my head. Now I'll go get some steel and I'll cut this out perfect to the shape once I get that bottom plate on there. Now I'll use the cardboard as a template onto the sheet steel and I'll trim that out. I have a 6-foot roller in the back and I should be able to run that through the roller, I do believe. Yeah, or no, wait. Yeah. So when you run it through the roller, I was thinking you're gonna wanna go on an angle, but you're not going to. You're gonna wanna go straight to feed that through. I do believe I'm thinking that right. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Kind of digging it. To make sure what I'm gonna probably do is what I do a lot is I'll stand around and I'll look at this for a couple days, maybe a week. I got a lot of patience on my cars that I usually do. And when I'm not sure of something, usually I'll just kind of mock you up like this with cardboard and I'll just kind of walk by it while I'm working here in the shop on other projects, kind of look at different angles. And if I decide that I'll like it, then I'll go through with it. If not, we'll just take it off and do something else. But we ended up getting some roll cage parts in for the GT40, so we're going to be jumping back on that. We unloaded the square body last week. That's outside underneath the carport. I'd like to get to that this week. Pull the gas lines from the tank and throw some gas in it, see if we can get that running. So a couple things to be looking forward to. The go-kart that we put together, I think a week before last, maybe last week, we finished that. We have 10 hours on that. I took the governor off. I've been ripping around on that. I'll have to get some of that test driving on the video and show you guys that. So look out for them videos that are coming up. And again, I appreciate you guys watching and we'll see you next time.